everyone, Nubkeks here and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I've actually a really fun game for you here today. We're going to be playing some Muradin, and we're going to be playing a different Muradin than probably you're used to seeing. Because I'm going to be going for something of an Assassin Muradin type build, and specifically a new one that's enabled by the talent rework that he had a little while ago. It's been a few patches. I haven't played it much since then, and I went into this game and said, you know what, I'm doing something different. It's been somewhat inspired by seeing a few Muradins with Bronzebeard Rage the last few times on streams, and people kind of going, wait, Muradin with Bronzebeard's Rage? What's going on there? So I said, let's make a build about it. And yeah, you'll see it's obviously got some weaknesses, we'll cover those, but it also has an awful lot of strengths. It might be quite fun if you're want to have a bit of a different experience playing Muradin. So also, this game was super fun, by the way, just in general. It could often be difficult to find good games to record for you guys. On this one, typically, I usually do unranked draft for the most part because I'm a lot more free to just choose random stuff and people don't really mind. The downside is that the game quality can be a little bit lower. But in this particular game, it was actually fantastic because, yeah, sure, there's a lot of crazy stuff, there's a lot of weird mistakes. But I also felt like a lot of times, you know, there was very good plays. Players were on both teams were like punishing. They're doing fun, proactive stuff, like actually making plays, which has been kind of difficult to find actually in the last little while. There've been a lot of fairly one-sided games. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I very much regretted there not going in to hit Sylvanas with that basic attack. She would have died. I didn't realize that Hanzo had that follow-up damage with the scatter arrow, so that was a mistake. We do pick up a kill though, and Alarak is very crazy level 1. Super duper crazy. You can already see my level 1 talent in action and sort of affecting my playstyle here, which is Third Wind. And this is actually, it's crucial to this build, right? It's really crucial. Arguably the best level 1 overall too, at least so much as it opens up a few different things that you can do. This increases the HP regen that you get from your trait. By a good chunk right there. That was a mistake. Tanked too many minions and we got killed. Increases your health regen a fair amount. Let me double check actually. So by default it's like at level 1 it's 53 health per second. Third Wind boosts that up to 80 per second. So I mean it's a pretty substantial increase. It's something like 50%. I'm not sure exactly how that works with scaling, but it's a big enough buff. It also raises the health threshold to 60%. Normally your trait will heal you extra when you're below 40% health. With Third Wind, it will now give you that bonus healing up to 60% health, so you heal really fast until you're at 60% health. It also increases, again, by about 50%, I think, the healing that you get while below 60%. So it's super strong. Basically, the purpose of this talent is that you can go in, you can take tons of damage as Muradin. You can do really aggressive trades. Even to very low life, you know, you can go in and do like 20% of the enemy's health and damage, and they can do like 80% of yours. You run away almost dead, but you heal up so fast because of this level 1. It just lets you do that. So yeah, it's very crucial to this particular playstyle. So right there we're kind of lurking, looking to see if we can find, spot, and interrupt some of these rotations to help out our two assassins who are down bot. The two solo laners are XR and Thrall, they're just duking it out up top. And yeah, we're just kind of doing first temple stuff, standard enough. Gonna come in here, Sylvanas is there, she got some free shots. We'll get a little bit of damage down on her. Nice shot by the Hanzo as well. Gonna jump in after. Hanzo jumped across too. Beautiful stuff from the Hanzo, really good there. Synergy committing to that, and we get ourselves a kill because of that. But yeah, like I said, I thought the stuff in this game was great. Like people are doing like cool stuff like that, like the Hanzo diving proactively as Hanzo, which you don't always see. We've got lots of rotations, you know, Falstad pushing bot, he's just flown up top. We got lots of stuff like that going on. I thought that was a lot of fun. Level 4, again, crucial, you take Thunder Burn. So when you hit a hero with Thunderclap, it will trigger a second one 2 seconds later with half damage. We're crucially using this to simply give us some more zone control and give us more CC. That's really the purpose of that more than anything else. So there, for example, we can jump in, we take a ton of damage, but it's okay. So you can try and juke around a little bit, wait for our health regen to pop, and there you can see it just chunking up, and blah, we just suddenly have tons of health again. So we can do these aggressive plays, we can take these aggressive trades, and you want to be looking for those. Bear in mind, this sort of opportunistic tanking, though, it's a very different style of tanking to like the big, beefy, solid Muradin frontline play that you might normally approach him as, you know, and with. Where you're kind of gonna go into the front, you're gonna pick healing static, and you're just gonna sustain through everything and be this front line the enemy can't get past. We're not really doing that at all. We're much more focused on doing damage, kind of putting pressure on them through our damage, and then kind of backing off, healing up, and trying to get back out. Here, it's good CC by the enemy team and trying to save the Stukov, who's kind of overextended there. And I die because of it. I think he actually dies as well. He gets killed as well. So that was definitely a big mistake. But at the same time as it being a mistake, I felt like, you know, this is what this was good about this game. It's like, sure, we made a mistake there. But it wasn't just we screwed up and died because of it, even though the enemy team wasn't great. It was like, we died, but the enemy team also, they dived on that, right? They punished that well. They committed to it and got the kill. Which, you know, might not sound that amazing, but actually it kind of is sometimes. It kind of is sometimes. Yeah, the game's been quite snowbally, I feel, since the last patch, but nonetheless, what can you do? So you can see I'm coming up top here. I'm just checking what Thrall has in terms of talents. We're going to lane against him for a little bit. I'm just here for the XP. I'm not really looking to do anything else. We have that bottom temple starting off soon. Want to get this big wave of XP so we can get to 10 and have 10 to fight that bottom temple. So we should be all good and lovely. Level 7, by the way, picked up Give Him the Axe. So whenever we attack, basic attack, specifically a hero that's slowed, rooted, or stunned, we increase our basic attack damage by 50% for 3 seconds. So this is what allows us to do a lot more damage. So we can trigger that ourselves with Stormbolt. We can trigger it ourselves with our Thunderclap. We have the Thunderburn at level 4, which will do a second Thunderclap, so we can maintain a lot of CC and therefore maintain high uptime on our whatchamacallit, on our thing. This is a bit awkward. Missed the Stormbolt, which is pretty bad. Trying to judge it with, you know, the Tyrael body blocking and the minions as well. Kind of a limited window to actually hit the Sylvanas. We do miss it, but luckily Rexar's there with a good follow-up. We pick up that kill. You see I'm flanking behind here again fairly aggressively. We've got such a high level lead, and this is beautiful stuff. Falstad's diving in. I love that. That's fantastic. The team is diving in. We'd already got a couple of kills. The enemy team was still at the fort. We have level 10 advantage. You know, you don't want to back off at that point and just passively take the temple. It's such a waste, right? Instead, we're able to just dive them behind the fort. We had a minion wave. We had everything going for us there. Dive behind the fort, get a couple of kills. Then we're going to go back, do the boss. Hanzo is soaking a wave in middle at the same time. We don't, well, it'd probably be good to have him here for the boss, I suppose. But he doesn't have the W build, so it's not as important. But he's able to go get us the XP from the wave, just get that wave pushed in as well. Then come back for the boss. We're easily able to take that and just keep that sort of snowball going. Enemy team is level 10 now, so to be a little bit more careful in terms of they might do something. See, I'm trying to scout this out, see what we can find. It's going to stun this Tyrael. We're going to get some decent damage on him. We bring him down to half life now. Anna be pretty good at topping him up, but that's something to look for. Got interrupted on the dwarf toss. Is trying to jump behind Thrall to body block him. We're still able to get in. Thrall's out of position, as you saw, and even with the Sundering interrupting the dwarf toss, we're able to pick up that kill and start pushing in here with the boss. Again, not in a big rush to get to this temple. Thrall's dead. Sylvanas is way up top. She's only on her way back down now. So instead of going back and taking the temple, we're instead going to push in. We're going to look for some more kills and just help this boss get extra value. We've got another talent tier advantage now, so we can go back and take that temple whenever we want. There's no rush to take it. We want to use our advantage to push in and get more than we would just going in for the temple, right? These things are really important. At level 10, Avatar. This is, you can also take Haymaker, but in this game, I want an Avatar for more survivability. I'd probably recommend that, especially if you're used to the old Muradin. At level 13, Bronzebeard Rage, okay? Bronzebeard Rage, baby. We're going all in on damage. So, I mean, healing static is probably overall the best one on this tier, and this is that's the most common in Muradin talent by far, where you heal for 5% of your max HP per hero hit by Thunderclap. That also procs off of Thunderburn. It synergizes with Avatar, so it gives you tons of self-sustain, and that gives you that sustain-y type Muradin gameplay. I said in this case, let's go for Bronzebeard Rage. Let's do it. So this is like Burning Rage. We're just pulsing damage to nearby enemies just all the time. Additionally, when we do a basic attack against a rooted, stunned, or slowed hero, increases the damage by 100% for 3 seconds. So the idea of this build is, go in, you know, we CC somebody with our abilities, we hit them with a basic attack, and then we just keep blasting basic attacks on them. That Bronzebeard Rage is pulsing extra damage as well. So yeah, we're just this super damagey threat of a Muradin. We're supposed to be very scary. So here we go, we're going in here. Hanzo's doing good damage, and you can see like our basic attacks plus that Bronzebeard Rage are doing a ton of damage. Getting a bit greedy here. The whatchamacallit, the Thunder comes out, then the Root, which is pretty bad. And they do just have enough damage there to pick me off. Unfortunately, Thrall, I think, got it with the last Lightning. So yeah, that was a bit too aggressive for sure, but you could still see the damage output. And then kind of underestimating, that's kind of a mistake that comes. You can see you don't have that healing from your W, so you have to maybe rejudge a little bit just how much you can commit to. It was close to being a really good play, because again, they waste a lot of cooldowns, and we regen with our level 1 talent, but oh well. Looks like Hanzo's going to go down. He does, unfortunately. So this is a big momentum swing for the enemy team. They really needed that. They even have a Siege Giant here at Sylvanas, so now they can do what we kind of did earlier with that advantage. They can push in, they can look at diving. And then you're going back to take this. Now, I think the mistake they've made is that they've dived, but their Ana went and finished off the temple, right? So whereas earlier we committed to the dive with, you know, our whole team and then went back for the temple, no rush. The enemy team there, they split their attention between diving us on the one hand and then taking the temple at the same time. And they should have just committed to the dive, and then they could probably have made a big, some pretty big plays. Now, the other big thing here that is, again, this is crucial to the playstyle, and it's only come in thanks to the Muradin rework, the mini one, which is Dwarf Launch, and the new way that it works. So 40% increased range on Dwarf Toss. Oh, the Hanzo arrow. I actually made the Hanzo arrow miss. It was a really good arrow. I made it miss by CCing him too much. Feels bad. Yeah, 40% increased range on Dwarf Toss, and it increases the cooldown, reduces the cooldown of Dwarf Toss by 3 seconds if you hit an enemy hero. So it goes from 10 seconds to 7. This is so cool, right? And this basically opens up sort of our end game playstyle, which is, we're just waiting, we're just lurking, right? We're looking for an enemy hero that's vulnerable. We're going to Dwarf Toss in on top of that enemy hero. And then we're going to do tons of damage to them thanks to and lock them down with CC, blast tons of damage into them with Give 'em the Axe, with Bronzebeard Rage. And then when they turn around, they're going to like do a ton of damage to us in return. When our HP goes low, we're going to Dwarf Toss away. Then we're going to heal up with Third Wind. Wait for Dwarf Toss to come back off cooldown, then we're going to do the exact same thing again, right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the exact same thing. Like, here we go. This is it. This is it in action, guys. Okay, sure, we've got loads of teammates to follow up. But you see what I mean, right? We're going to go in, super aggressive, take loads of damage, but do a fair chunk of damage ourselves. So we're going to go out, we're going to heal up, and then we're going to jump right back in and go for those kills. So it's totally different, right? Because you're not so much working with your team at all. You're not so much being the traditional main tank, right? It's a different type of tanking. You're not being the traditional main tank in terms of I'm this big beefy dude at the front of my team. You're instead tanking by going, I'm this, you know, big beefy assassin effectively that's going to jump in on your squishy heroes. So instead of, you know, just absorbing all the damage at the front of our team, we're going to basically absorb a bunch of damage by being such a big threat to their backline that they can't help but shoot us. Or, you know, we're just going to lock them down, CC them, and kill these squishies. That's basically the goal here. That's what we're looking for. Thrall's an interesting one. I wasn't sure about fighting against the Thrall, because Thrall's got so much self-healing. I don't actually know if trading into him is worth it. I might just be wasting my mana. Falstad unfortunately got a bit greedy there. He's going to die. I'm going to run away. I mean, we could have... Excuse me. We could have helped him out a little bit there. But he was definitely dead when he went that far forwards. And we would have risked perhaps dying ourselves, so... wasn't worth it in the end. Looking for the Thrall. We've got a big push bot lane at the moment, so I figured it was worth doing this. Hanzo, in the meantime, I think killed mid-keep all by himself, so that's nice. And yeah, we're able to put some pretty good pressure on here. We know that they've got 2 other heroes that have been drawn away, thanks to that pressure. Hanzo in a little bit of trouble, but he does jump away and he get out of there. See, Sylvanas is still bot. Rexar's coming in. Gonna get a bit of damage here. And we're just waiting. We're just waiting. Being patient, being patient. Here comes... what's his name? Rexar with Misha. And go in. We're going to help do a bit of damage here. You can see all the, like, it's very satisfying. You get all these crit numbers, right? Which is really nice. They're looking to split this up to stun them if they went in to attack us. Figured my team would have the Tyrael kill, and they did. You get knocked back, but we're A-okay. And look at jumping in here. Here we go. Jump in. See if we can see the Thrall lock him down. Again, is walking to the side, trying to stay alive. We've got Avatar, which is helping us stay alive as well. Falstad goes in deep. Pokes some fire on the Alarak. We missed Stormbolt, which is not ideal, but Hanzo lands a stun arrow, which is crucial. We're able to jump back in, and you can see we're just back up to full HP. Easy peasy. Once we stay out of combat, once we're not hit for a few seconds, we get all of our HP back, and we're able to dive in beyond this keep as well. Yeah, it's just a super fun game where like the teams are, you know, they're focused like that, and they're doing these like, especially our team, I think was definitely, has been so far at least a step up in this game. You know, just diving in, right? Just executing those dives, being confident in them. And sure, it's ballsed up a few times and we've died horribly and made some big mistakes. But that's okay, right? Because we've also made some really good plays and like scared them a lot. Level 20, I'm not sure actually what to take. And this game I did eventually take Unstoppable Force. So this will give us 20 armor while Avatar is active and make our basic attacks reduce the cooldown of Thunderclap and Dwarf Toss by 0.75 seconds. So I figure this is pretty strong, actually, and again, this was new in the rework. I believe it was new in the rework. It's pretty nifty, right? Can also take Rewind. I don't feel like Rewind is as good with this build by any means as it is with the traditional Muradin build. I would normally every single time with the old Muradin build, absolutely, I'd take Rewind every single time, no question. It's just too strong. It's still strong here, but it doesn't synergize as well. So I actually went for the Unstoppable Force for just a bit more consistent pressure on their backline. I can dive in, pop the Avatar, just to open up, you know, just more aggression and more pressure that way. That was the theory, at least. I could also see Hardened Shield being pretty good as well with this one too. Just again to open up more of that aggressiveness. I think it'd be pretty good. So here, for example, we've popped our thingy, so we can now be just more aggressive in terms of diving in, looking for heroes that we can actually kill. Alarak is the target here, and we're able to take him out. We're able to then jump in. We're just trying to count those cooldowns at the same time. Get Sylvanas just about with that stun. We get stunned ourselves by the Ana, get knocked out of it, and Sylvanas goes down, and we're jumping in again. You're just jumping everywhere. Like, once you get into the rhythm of this, once their team is kind of like vulnerable to those dives, oh, it just feels fantastic. Like, this guy, I had so much fun in this game, just running around, just dive, and just looking for those opportunities. It's so different, right? It's opportunistic is the word that sums up this build. Went for the old end the game above the core and got the timing wrong. That sucks. you want to do those flashy things when you can for a bit of fun. But there you go, we got a victory. And like I said, I thought it was a great game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. One of the most fun games I've played in HOTS in a while. But yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoy this build. It's a different type of Muradin. I think that's always like super fun to discover and to find out. So yeah, there you go. That was Muradin. You can see in terms of damage that we did almost as much as Falstad, and we did the same as Rexar. He had a great game as well. So, you know, our damage was by no means lacking. We did tons actually over the course of the game while still being, still absorbing some damage, and crucially being, you know, a massive distraction, a massive, just a thorn in the enemy's side. And yeah, like I said, different kind of tanking. Tanking through disrupting the enemy team, not through just simply, you know, soaking up the damage on the front of your team, but yeah, being that flank, being that threat, being the disruptor. And I think it works pretty well. So there you go, guys. That is the build for Muradin. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you all next time for some more Heroes of Storm. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.